season, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let me see what he says. I think he is streaming. Pretty sure.
So I am just putting a notification in the Discord, and then just do the same thing as last week of just hang around for 5 minutes and chat, waiting for a couple of people to come in, so we have at least one person chatting that we can bounce off of.
And sorry.
What was that? Are you there?
What did you say?
I said just do the same thing as last week. Just chat
Are we
for 5
streaming?
minutes. Yeah, we went live.
Oh shit!
Just as you were saying, I might
even
just
know.
go say something to Alpha Peep.
I did. I trolled him a little bit. I said nice CMP on the Typhlosion.
No, I mean that's awfully weird of you to be trolling anyone.
Hey, I'm just like trying. You know, he could have thrown the Blast Burn before that. I think he went to 5 Incinerates, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to CMP you want to put shield advantage, right? If you CMP me, that means I'm putting shield advantage on you. So
what do you think his thinking was? Do you think that was a deliberate move, or do you just
think he probably just
miscounted?
miscounted? Yeah, he probably just did one extra Incinerate. Incinerate super long. Yeah, probably just that.
Yep. Live for the breakdown.
Incinerate's long, right?
Yeah, yeah. Of course, that's its disadvantage. Like, really hard to time with other stuff.
Yeah, it can be tricky for sure. Yeah, this meta looks interesting. The Master League.
Talk about that first Pokemon right off the bat.
Yeah, I don't have a Florges. Actually, I prefer, because like actually before, with Vine Whip, it was actually not bad against Excadrill. So I think like Excadrill will be a little better against Florges now.
Wait, are we starting it now? Are we starting the analysis now?
I'm just saying based on my previous experience, like I ran a team that was like, the team that I was running last time Premier Classic was around was Como O, Excadrill, and Walrein.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Florges is like a huge problem. Like it's really tough to beat because of the Vine Whip deals super effective damage to Walrein too, right?
Yeah. And
neutral damage to, and then like with my lead, I can only like close combat it. And I think I battled Poke AK, and he was using that. That was during the interlude season, and I barely beat him, but he had me like, I switched to like Excadrill, and he brought in like a Darmanitan or something.
Oh,
like,
really?
It was like it was a little tough to pull that game out. He always plays weird shit, I think. You know, because he plays really weird stuff, and then he doesn't win because of the algorithm, right?
Yeah. It's
not because he's playing like off-meta Pokemon that are very niche in their matchups. It's just because of the algorithm. I got blocked by him recently too, so now I'm part of the club. I'm part of the club. Yeah. It feels special.
I know.
It's all Evans 777.
Isn't there more people that have been blocked by him than not though?
Yeah, that's why I'm part of the club. So Evan 777713 or whatever. Do you know him?
Yes.
Yeah, it's his fault.
Oh, why? What did he do?
He said, "Can anyone tag Poke AK in this algorithm video?" He blocked me, and then I tagged him, and then he blocked me.
I mean, that sounds like that wasn't Evan's fault at all.
I didn't do anything. I was just trying to do the guy a solid, like show him, like, hey, look, we got evidence of the algorithm here. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what you were doing, just helping the guy out.
I was. There was the algorithm. Come on, frig. I wouldn't fuck around like that, especially on Twitter. Maybe on Twitch, I would, but not on Twitter. Okay.
Yeah. Twitter's a much more sacred place.
Yeah, I'm super chill on Twitter.
Actually, because I don't hang out on Twitter very often at all. I don't know how you are on Twitter.
Me?
Actually,
I don't really post that much
Oh,
on
you
Twitter. I just like posts of people like, oh, like I hit legend. Oh, look at me. I'm like, doing this, doing that. It's like, okay, cool.
Mhm.
I'm not really like, I don't post that often.
What kind of stuff do you post? Do you post the hey, I
Like
hit
to do
legend
like a
posts and
legend post.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably do something like that. Probably occasionally I post something like, oh, like thanks for the support during the stream, blah blah, like post a link. Just because I do have a decent amount of followers, so on Twitter, so just to get some more exposure, like try to get a couple more follows. Least use of the word
With Twitter.
secret.
I was saying Twitter's a sacred place. Twitter's like a temple.
Sure, yes, it is. It's like a temple of the dog, as they say.
They do say that all the time.
Damn, what is that one? Yeah, I don't know. I just like keep updates, see what people are posting, this and that. Like, I don't really jump in too much drama or nothing, but mainly just for the good stuff. Like, you gotta like Kevin's posts,
Oh, who's Jester, and what are you gonna pass him with?
Oh, apparently someone changed my name to Jester Lyles in the BTW Discord, and I didn't change it yet. And then he said he's gonna pass me soon in Elo, I guess. I have no idea.
Where are you at?
Like 2750.
Nice.
I went 05 to start the day, and then I was seeing a lot of like team comps that were like really bad for me. So I just like made a slight tweak. I dropped Trevenant and I shuffled some Pokemon around a bit. I added Escavalier, and then I climbed back up like 80 points after that. So like only ended up dropping like 20 elo on the day, which is not bad considering I started with an 05. So
dropping Trevenant for Escav seems strange.
I just like there's a lot of teams very weak to Escav right now in the meta. And like a lot of people are countering Trevenant. Like there's a lot of Walrein, there's a lot of Nidoqueen, Mux. I'm seeing so many like Orangaroos and friggin' Steelix. Yeah, man, I'm seeing like dumb shit.
They watched
That's
our
like
video
really
last
annoying.
week.
That's really annoying. like I was leading like Kanto Muck, and I had like Trevenant in the back, and you like lead into like an Orangaroon, and you're like, or like you lead into a Crustle, you're just like,
get out of here.
At least like with Escav, I think it covers Gyarados a little better. And I'm still using the Kanto Muck, because Kanto Muck's actually been really good. I'm really happy that I powered that thing up. So
yeah, that's
that thing's really fun.
That I'd like to run. Tentacruel, I feel like would be like if I had the choice between Muck or Tentacruel, I think Tentacruel might be what I go to first.
Muck is nice because of it's got some interesting charge moves like Dark Pulse and Thunder Punch. You can also run like Acid Spray. You could run Sludge Wave if you really wanted to like surprise somebody. So it depends on your team comp, but Thunder Punch is nice, especially with Escav, because it's like main issue is like flying types, right? But it's pretty good. It's also a decent bait move. Is a bit lower energy, but it's good against Crobats, stuff like that.
How does Muck do versus Escav in the lead situation? Like if you've got to go to 2 shields, do you outpace?
The Muck Escav matchup is like actually not that bad. Like it's not great, but like you outpaced Escav, right? Like because you get there, I think it's 665, and they need like 766, and like the poison jabs actually add up because Escav's so glassy,
Mhm.
and like especially if it's like 1-to-1 shields or like 1-0 shields, like Dark Pulse and a Thunder Punch basically KOs the Escav,
Yeah.
and like I don't think I'd want to do that, but like, and also Drill Run does about only half to like a
Is
like
that
a
right?
Kanto Mach, so probably just a bit more than half.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
would have thought
pretty
it'd
bulky.
be like 70% or 80% even. I didn't realize it was that
No,
bulky.
Muck is it's super annoying for Escavalier because you at least like you're resisting their fast moves, right? So which is the good thing, like you resist counter.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I can bring it up here.
Oh, I'm just checking now. Let's see here. Muck Escavalier. Muck wins, it says, in the 1 shield, so there you go.
Wow. Poison
But
jab,
you
Thunder
you
Punch.
lose the 2s and the 0s, so
The default sim is Dark Pulse. They bait with the Thunder Punch and then go Dark Pulse. Would you just go straight?
yeah, you
Thunder
need a
Punch?
Dark Pulse and a Thunder Punch to
Okay.
KO.
So you can't just go straight Thunder.
No. Thunder Punch is not a great move. Yeah, it does like 52%, like I said. So, yeah, like I said, it's not too bad, especially like end game. If you like can farm something down and you come into, if you can come into that matchup with like some energy, it's really good. Like late, let's say you can get like 1, 2, 3, 4 like farm down or something. Like maybe it's like a wall run.
Yeah.
You farm it down. You start with like 170 HP or something with some powder snow damage. Like you win the 0s and the 1s at that point.
Yeah.
Pretty
wow.
handily. And then like if it's the 1-0s for you, that like say you still have a shield, like you can just clean it up and then take care of what's ever in the back too. So yeah, it's pretty versatile, I'd say.
And the
Steelix is the big one. Steelix is the big one that sucks.
That sucks for against Mark.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, but how many Steelix are you seeing though?
Quite a few.
Yeah. Wow, you're seeing
They're pretty common.
You're seeing a whole bunch of Pokemon that I'm not seeing.
I guess it's doing well for them because they're climbing up the rankings, right? It must be. So I think it's like some of these ones are a bit of core breakers, right? Steelix and stuff like because if they're having like Dragonite and like something else like does really good against that as well. So
all right, so we've definitely gone 5 minutes. Do you wanna get into it?
Sure.
All right. So we alluded to this one a little earlier as we were doing our
Florges?
Yeah.
Which one? Florges?
Florges. Yeah, I'm really interested in it. Because
I'm wondering, like, if, like, I think you can run either Fairy Wind or Vine Whip depending on what you're using it for. Because I think they're pretty comparable. Like, Vine Whip just does a little bit more damage, whereas Fairy Wind just generates a little bit more energy. So, like, I think you could run either or depending on what you want to do with it. Landorus in Open Master, yeah, Landorus is really good because, like, Zacian kind of has a hard time with Landorus because like they can hit it with play roughs. That's about it. Like everything else is resisted. And you outpace them with the mud shot, so like you can get to those stone edges pretty quick. So it does pretty well against like Zacian, Dialga, struggles against like Mewtwo and like Kyogre obviously is a big issue for it. Any ice types. Mamoswine, that type of thing, but it's definitely really good. I think the Therian one is like the preferred one. The cat on the cloud. I think that's the one. I think that's the preferred one, but it's definitely really good.
That is just Open Master because it's not eligible in Premier Classic.
Yeah, no legendaries or in Premier or XLs in Premier
Yeah.
Classic. So
So, I mean, is there any dragon that has anything to fight Florges with?
yeah, Gudra could hit it with
Gudra,
a
yeah, the
sludge,
Power Whip, oh, Sludge
power
Wave,
whip,
yeah.
sludge wave. Because Gudra's not bad in Master League, I think. They don't have it on there.
They
I
don't even
think
have it
it's
on
like
here in the meta.
I think it's like decent. Yeah, it's probably not like super meta, but I think it's definitely decent-ish. Um
So,
Dragalge, I don't think you would get. Yeah, Power Whip Draco they're recommending, but
yeah, right. So they're just not even worrying about Muddy Water.
like if they're using the Gudra to max out at 2600, I don't think so.
I mean, it would
I
make
think it's a little higher than that.
sense. Let me look that up. Not GPO, Gudra. I mean, number 38, so that's not bad. No, 3505.
3505. So much higher than 2600. It's not. No, it's definitely. It's a decent dragon. Like it's got
Yeah.
some decent stats.
Yeah.
Maybe the moves are a bit lacking, but it also depends what Florges is running. Because if it's running Vine Whip, then the Gudra matchup would be a lot better. Especially if you had Sludge Wave, it'd be kind of like bait dependent, right?
Yeah.
But if it's running Fairy Wind, it's probably like pretty positive. Because like it's running triple fairy moves, right? Like that's gonna be tough for any dragon. And Dragalge unfortunately doesn't have the stats to get the Master League. Yeah. Plus, it doesn't have any poison fast moves. It has Dragon Tail, right? Well, it has.
It's got acid, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not gonna run acid.
It's very targeted. Like I would probably guess that acid would allow you to beat the fairies, but that's so specific.
Oh yeah, because you're neutral. Like even before the buff on Nihiligo, it could beat like Zacian. Right. That was basically the only thing it could beat with. It had acid, right? Like if you want to talk a bit about Open Master League later, we can. That thing is a friggin' monster. Holy shit! Nihiligo beats things you never expected to beat. You think Nihiligo can beat Giratina Origin in the one shield?
It can.
A poison type? What do you think? Poison jab, rock slide?
I mean, I would say no, but due to the nature of this conversation,
it can. It does. It's insane, man. This thing is so good. Like King Tom's been using this thing in factions, and like, holy shit, people are not prepared for it. Like, it is so good, man.
And
but that's my little tangent.
Rock slide, sludge.
Yeah, rock slide, sludge bomb. This is good. Poison jab, rock slide, sludge bomb. Decent typing, rock poison. Like you counter out some fighting weaknesses, some grass weaknesses, right?
And how much? So what are your weaknesses? Your
water, ground,
psychic.
Like fighting type wouldn't be amazing because it's neutral, right?
That's a pretty neutral matchup because you're also doing neutral.
Yeah. Gyarados is like if they're running Dragon Breath, it's still good for Nihiligo because you outpace them. We don't outpace them, but the rock slide does a lot more.
So
and the poison jabs add up. So
pretty similar to Toxicroak. Like it's I keep coming back to Toxicroak where it's like ever since like the second ever Sylph Cup, we've been talking about how you can't run Tox because it's double weak to confusion, like 3 confusions take it out, but then it keeps on getting used in the meta. Just avoid the confusion user, and it suddenly.
Well, luckily there's a lot of dark types in Great League too, like Sableye and like Ghost, Trevenant, Umbreon, things like that.
Exactly.
Like that, like kind of keep the psychics away. In Master League, like the only 2 real ground types are I guess there's Landorus, there's Groudon, and then there's Garchomp.
Yeah, so as long
those
as
are like the 3 big ones.
A team that covers them, you're in a good spot.
Yeah, basically Kyogre does pretty well against all 3 of those, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So Yeah, I think Kyogre and Ligo is a strong pair, but okay. Let's get back to Premier Classic.
Yes.
That's my bad.
That's all right.
Got sidetracked. I'm a Master League specialist now, so this is my jam.
Oh, yep. Excellent. No longer scuffed. Interesting matchup against Rhyperior. That seems very close. I'm interested in that. Also, Gengar.
Yeah, like I said, some of those matchups, like I like the Rhyperior, the Excadrill, and stuff. Like I think you'll see if you put Vine Whip on it, it's much better for
Yeah.
Florges. So it just depends what role you want to use it in on your team. Like if you want to use it as a pure dragon, like a fairy type, that's fine. But if you want it to be a little bit more flexible, you can run it with like Vine Whip, because Vine Whip charges decently fast, right?
Yeah.
And Disarming Voice, actually decent move. It's with a 6-mon team. Yes, exactly. I do have a 6-mon team. That's it. That's all I have for
That's
Master
all he
League.
needs.
That's all you need. Sylph.
Yeah.
Come on.
Would you run double fairy like it's recommending, or would you chuck psychic in place of one of those?
I just don't know what you would be targeting with Psychic. Like it doesn't help you against the steals.
Yeah.
Which fairies are already resisting. There's not a lot of fighting. Like you're already going to be dealing super effective with fairy, right?
What about
poison? Like there's not a lot of poison in the meta. Like honestly, there's not really. I wouldn't be worried about any poison.
Sneasler,
like maybe Sneasler takes neutral. Like I bet you a Moonblast almost one shots a Sneasler anyways. Roserade, nobody's running Roserade. Nobody's running Gengar.
This amazes me. Nidoqueen is still ahead of Nidoking, despite the CP differences.
What does Nidoking get up to?
Nidoking gets up to... Oh, wow, actually, I thought that
was
a lot higher. 25, 67. So what does Nidoqueen get up to then?
2488. Plus the best buddy boost, you can get it up to like just over 2500, right?
And it's still number 70 in the open... in the Master League Premier. Although, 73 overall rating. I've said before that I consider like anything above like 82 to be...
That's the thing about Master League, is what you realize is you'd be like, oh, this thing's only ranked like 35. It's probably okay. No. once you get past like 20, like you start dropping off like massively in Master League. The meta is super condensed.
Yeah.
Because the top dominates so hard that if you try to bring something off meta, you're just going to get destroyed. That's basically Master League.
Go as far down as maybe 80.
Like you can make some of these work. Like Powdon has play, Gudra has play, Gengar maybe. Sure, you can try to make it work. Machamp I think is not bad. I think Shadow Machamp definitely better. But it's probably tougher for you to get a Shadow Machamp. Conkeldurr, yeah. I think Haxorus is better if you're looking for like a counter user than those other ones. But
alright, so then we've got Dragonite Shadow and regular Dragonite. Thoughts?
Which I don't know if you remember. So last time Master League Premier Classic was around, the top ranked Pokemon was Shadow Gyarados.
Okay.
So I think adding the superpower has like pushed Dragonite up there again because of the ability to hit back against some of the steel types, such as Magnazone and Excadrill, Metagross.
Yeah, like
those types of ones, right?
The one shield wins Gyarados. I mean, wins Metagross. So that is a successful bait. Obviously, I doubt you're winning if you fail the bait.
No, because only neutral, right? It's only neutral on Metagross. You went to the wrong one.
Yep, I sure did.
Jester, is this your first time playing Master League Classic? No, it is not. Boombasti, is Shadow Magnazone still a thing? I think it is because, like Florges, right? You would be resisting all the moves, and also against Gyarados is going to be still like really good. Also, Metagross, like you're double resisting Bullet Punch, right? You just have to watch out for the Earthquake. So I do think there is a lot of play for Magnazone, but the one thing that has hurt it quite a bit is the rise in Excadrill. because it's kind of like a hard wall. It's like a G-Fisk, right? It's a ground steel type, so that is kind of the thing that holds Magnazone back a bit because of the prevalence of Excadrill, I'd say.
So that
But it's
can
still
you
very
get around
strong.
that with just a good core? So like
You just
something
need
that beats
alignment,
Excadrill?
right?
Yeah.
Like if you get the Magnazone into the Excadrill, they can pretty much just like mud shot you down. Especially if you start wild charging.
Okay, so then we've got Gyarados, which is still up there, still fourth. Would you run Gyarados? Like, I'm getting the sense that Gyarados might be better to use than Dragonite, just because it can take out the dragons. Plus, it still does fine against like the steel types that Superpower is helping with Dragonite, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, because you're gonna be your water type, right? So it always has a positive matchup with Metagross, even with Dragon Fast Move.
Yeah.
It's better. It's much better for Gyarados with Waterfall, but it also depends on the rest of your team. You can run it with Waterfall, so.
And of course, for Metagross specifically, you've got Crunch as well.
Yeah, I think if you have Dragon Tail or Dragon Breath, I think you have to land like a Crunch at some point to KO it. But if you have Waterfall, I think you can just go straight Aqua Tail because you're doing neutral damage. They're doing resisted, right? And they don't, unless they're running Psychic, they have nothing to hit you with for neutral damage. So sometimes Metagrosses will run Psychic as opposed to Earthquake, especially if they need extra coverage. Actually, interesting that Paradox brings this up about the Dragon Tail. It's kind of a tricky subject because I think Dragon Tail used to be preferred, but what I'm realizing more recently is that since the more recent updates and stuff, I'm not sure the 3-turn move is beneficial, even though you do get a little bit extra damage. Just because of the inflexibility of it compared to the 1-turn move.
It's almost like I've been saying it for months.
They only generate the same amount of energy, right? Oh yeah, okay, well relax. Before the update, when there was like the ability to deny your opponent and stuff like that, I think Dragon Tail was better.
Yeah, totally.
But I think nowadays, when your opponent's sneaking every time and you have a 3-turn move, I think it's definitely not better with Dragon Breath, but I think it's a little more flexible. Like you're a lot easier to catch to sack swap on if you have Dragon Tail, and also end game scenarios if you need that like couple extra damage to kill, then the Dragon Breath can kind of come through there as well.
I would love Twister to be good. That's like we need some nice like mid energy dragon fast moves, charge moves.
We do. We have Dragon Claw.
Yeah, so we got the spammy move
That's
and we
the
got the
only
nukes.
one.
We don't
Outrage
have
is like no, I wouldn't call Outrage like a nuke. It's like a.
You wouldn't?
It's what is it? 60 energy.
It's pretty nukey though.
It's not like a top level nuke though.
Sure, but
it is 60, right? Am I right?
I think so.
And Draco's 65, or is Outrage
Something like
55?
No, Outrage wouldn't be 55. I mean, it would be in so much better use if it was 55.
It's used pretty well. Like I really liked it on Kingdra. I thought because I know Octazooka's 50.
Yeah, you might be right. No, it is 60.
Okay, Draco is 65 then.
It is.
Yeah. It's funny because that 5 extra energy seems like a lot, especially when you're debuffing yourself and you're using Dragon Breath.
Yeah.
So that's 3 extra Dragon Breaths. Yeah.
I would love Twister to be either an equivalent of a Scald or a Rock Slide.
Okay, bro, those are like top tier moves.
I know.
Well, Scald not so much. Rock Slide, yeah, is really good.
Or just it's just 45 or 50 energy and like.
What is Twister? Can you check? What's the energy damage?
It is 45.
Oof.
For 45 damage. So
45. Oof, baby, that's rough.
So
So
what
like,
if we...
what is Ice Punch is 40 for
Yeah.
60? Oh god, that was really bad. Even if they made it like 45 for 65, that wouldn't be horrible. Like you know, you do a bit of damage, you could stack two of them,
Foul
something
play,
like
bam.
that.
45 for 70. I think that would be
Yeah,
good.
45 for 70, 45 for even 65. Like, wouldn't be like Discharge is 45, 65.
Okay.
Not a bad move. It's spammy, anything like that would be better than like one is god awful, dude. Like Aqua Jet. Oh, Aqua Jet. Oh god, you never use these moves. They're just so bad.
Yeah. All right. So then we go down to Garchomp. Any advantages to Garchomp over Dragonite if you're gonna use a dragon?
Yes, you get walled even harder by Togekiss. I guess you don't have Hurricane anymore, but you could run Fire Blast if you wanted to.
Yes. You also absolutely pulverize Magnazone.
Yeah, you're a dragon ground type, right? Like Magnazone. Although I will say, Flash Cannon will hurt if they do have it.
If they do, is that a common occurrence?
Sometimes they have it, because actually the Magnazone matchup with Togekiss is not that great, because you kind of have to wild charge if you have Mirror Shot. But if you have Flash Cannon, then you like one shot the fairies, right? So sometimes they opt to do that, because like most Sylveons, things like that won't shield because they're expecting like Mirror Shot, right? Or maybe a wild charge.
Yeah.
Either or wouldn't kill. So I have seen some of those before, but yeah, it's just weak to ice too, right? It's similar to the Dragonite, but
then like how much does a Flash Cannon do? Like if you do get hit by it, you probably survive, and then you know that it's running up for the next one, so you're just gonna shield the next one while you're grinding it down with double super effective Sand Tombs. Hey, Dawn.
Well, they're recommending Earth Power Outrage. That's if you're running Mud Shot. You could also run Dragon Tail.
What
as
do you
Dragon,
suggest?
like, I think it just depends what you want to use it for. Like Dragon Tail, like if you're running Mud Shot, kind of get destroyed by night, right? But if you're running Dragon, you kind of fight back against like Dragonite and some other flies, because like even with Dragon Tail, you still beat Magnazone. You still beat Excadrill with Dragon Tail, right? You just but you would probably want to run Sand Tomb, like probably Sand Tomb Earth Power or Sand Tomb Outrage, something like that with Dragon Tail.
If you run Sand Tomb Earth Power, then you just straight up lose to Dragonite.
No, you just Sand Tomb it and then
Keep
Dragon Tail down.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm trying to think back to my very limited Master League experience.
It's not amazing because they do get to those, even with Outrage, like they get to the Dragon Claw super quick, 12 turns, right?
Yeah.
So, and Outrage, as we saw, is 60 energy.
60, yeah.
So let me see if I can do some math here. It's 4 Dragon Tails to 35 energy moves, so they probably need like 6 or 7 Dragon Tails to get to Outrage, something like that.
It's 7.
7, yeah. See, good math by me. Quite a lot.
So okay, here's the trick that I learned on how to do my 9 times tables. It's whatever your multiplier is, the first digit of the answer will be 1 less than that. So for 7 times 9, it's the first digit is 6, and then the second digit adds up to 9 if you add those 2 digits together. So 6 and 3.
That would make sense because if Dragon Breath generates 3 energy per turn and Dragon Tail is a 3-turn move, and they both generate the same amount of energy, then Dragon Tail generates 9 energy per Dragon Tail.
That's also
All
also a way
coming
you can work it out.
together. It's all coming together now.
Um,
Tangrowth could be interesting. It's definitely a spice pick, but it does have play in the meta with like Rock Slide. You do get walled by some of the steel types. It is a little lower rank, but it does have some play. Like, Swampert is around.
mm,
Togekiss is quite popular. Like, you have the ability to beat Garchomp, right? Like it's
yeah,
saying.
like those
You
are
do get walled
some
by like
quality
Metagross.
wins.
Like Dragonite, it's you lose, but like if you chip it with something else, like you can easily close the game with the Tangrowth, right?
Mm.
With like a Rock Slide or something. And losing the Gyarados doesn't feel good though as a grass type, I'd say.
Well,
Especially with
that
a
would be the
grass
same
type
as
with the
Dragonite
super.
though, if you can close
Well,
out with a Rock
you were
Slide.
dealing neutral and super. Yeah, but I'm saying like straight up, like you feel like you should be able to win
Yeah,
that
right.
because you could deal super effective damage and they can only deal neutral. It's just probably a stats thing, right? Like, what does
Yeah.
the CP get to on this thing?
Where is it?
Oh, it's up.
Yep, there.
So
Up,
stat
stupid.
product is 525215. So not like it's not bad, but it's not like Gyarados stat product, right? That's kind of where Master League, like some of they might have niche play typing wise, but overall, like I think just they get out bulked and out damaged by other things sometimes.
Yeah. So Paradox, I'm in the same boat as you, where it's very easy to think, well, this is super effective against this, therefore should win. That's in Master League in particular. I think that's less applicable because of like stats becoming so important. A lot of these Pokemon just don't have enough stats to compete against. Like that's why Dialga is so dominant.
Yeah,
in
Dialga's
open. Well,
and
used
the
to be
typing
anyway.
too.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's still going to be good. I don't care what PvPoke says. Dialga, you have a dragon type that can beat fairies
Yeah.
and all the other dragons. Hello?
Yeah.
Like that thing is
Busted.
still busted. You just let the first. You can survive a close combat, and then after they close combat you, the Iron Head one shot. So, I still think it's going to be good.
Anything else to say about Garchomp? Like, so are you recommending Earth Power Outrage, or you were recommending Double Ground, weren't you, with Dragon Tail?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Mm.
Again, I would say it depends what you pair it with, but like if you're running as a safe swap, I would probably run it with Dragon Tail.
Yeah.
But if you're running it as a closer, you could run it with the Mudshot Earth Power Outrage.
Yeah, I like
just
that.
so you have better coverage against like things, because like Outrage does a lot, even to like a Gyarados.
Yeah.
Like Outrage does a lot of damage from a Garchomp. Like holy shit, man, it hits hard. Garchomp hits really hard.
The
So
disadvantage
like an Outrage.
there. Yeah, no, go on.
Outrage basically one shots every dragon in Master League. Like
Yeah.
if shields are down and you have an Outrage,
But
see you later.
Then it's kind of like it suffers the same issue as the Reggies, where if you don't get the KO, then you have to get to another Outrage to get that KO.
It does have that issue. Yes, I have tried. I have had to attempt the Mudshot down Gyarados before. It's not fun.
Beware. Okay, that's actually higher. So Rescue Go-Go is in chat asking about Beware. That's higher ranked than what I thought it might be. 5095 is not great.
I feel like it might be better in open because
Really?
there's more ghosts.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like Giratina is like super popular, right? And you do have like the superpower for like Dialga and stuff like that. So I think it might be better there, but I still don't think it's amazing. It's probably more of like a factions Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right, where like you bring it and like you surprise your opponent, and they're kind of like weak to it. But like it's like the main ghost is Gengar, which honestly I don't think is like the. Sometimes you see Chandelure actually is I'd say probably the more common ghost type in Premier Classic.
In Premier Classic.
Yeah, Chandelure, because there's a lot of things weak to. there's a lot of like fighter double steel types or
Uh-huh.
something, like I'm a champ or something. So they're kind of weak to that ghost fire type.
One of the more popular steel types is Excadrill, though. Which...
Yeah, but you can like if you get a flame charge off, you can just incinerate it down. Like
Yeah, sure.
those incinerates do so much damage. Where's the rank? I'm curious to see where Chandelure is ranked because it's actually quite not popular, but I'd say you see one every once in a while, like, and it's decent.
Just quickly, I want to bookmark that and just mention, like, maybe would you try pairing Beware with like an anti-dragon, or like or maybe a Gyarados, like a Beware with a Gyarados to be able to beat.
I just
like,
think like if you look at the things Beware beats, like Gengar, Magnazone, Metagross, Excadrill, like Garchomp beats those things too, and it can also beat the dragons if put in the right situation,
yeah,
right?
sure.
So like I just think there's better options. Like you could run it, but okay, Dragonite. I think you're very weak to Fairy. Like you got to remember, Beware is also a fighting type, right? So like if there's like a Togekiss lead, you would be in kind of trouble.
So what about leading the Metagross? So then maybe you could draw out the
You
Fairy
could run,
with the Dragonite.
yeah, you could run something like that. I would probably rather draw it with the Beware, because then at least you have Shadow Claw, and then you can
Stomp
do
your way
some,
to
Shadow
victory.
Claw and Stomp at least. Well, it's better than Dragon Claw and Dragon Breath, right?
This is
But,
recommending
you could try
Payback,
it.
which I think is probably better overall. Like, you're obviously, leaving yourself with nothing against the fairies, but I think you need the nuke here.
I'm just like wondering what you pay back. Like, I don't know. You could probably get away with Stomp.
I imagine Payback is more DPE, even though it's non-stab, than Stomp.
It's just Payback's kind of awkward because it's a very high energy.
It is.
And Stomp, you can at least spam them out. Payback a Metagross, yeah. I don't think you need the Payback a Metagross. So like with the Shadow Claws, you could probably double Superpower.
Yeah.
Like Beware's Superpower hits really hard. So Stab Superpower, it's neutral, and the Shadow Claws are doing super effective damage. So Stomp is not a great move, but it's better than Twister. So
it is it can safely say that it's got that going for it. All right. So what was the bookmark again? That was
what's a good stat product? Yeah, Safe Swap. I would say Stomp. Yeah, maybe as a closer you could run Payback. What's a good stat product to compare? Yeah, you can look up like Togekiss, like anything like super meta like that. Togekiss, Dragonite, Florges,
58 there.
Yeah, once you start getting to like this close to the 6,000s, like you're pretty good.
Oh, Garchomp 71.
Yeah, Garchomp 71. Yeah, but it's got a very high attack. So
58 seems about average.
Yeah, something like that, like close to the 6,000s, but you want a more like balanced profile too.
6'6".
Yeah, Metagross is pretty bulky. Snorlax is a pretty good stat product.
Look at that, Metagross is bulkier than Snorlax.
Yes, slightly. Primarina is a little glassy, but it has a very unique typing with the water fairy type.
Yeah.
Like you can beat a Metagross technically if you have Waterfall, I think, possibly, or at least put in work against it. So
there was a Pokemon that when we were talking about Beware, you brought up this Pokemon, and I'm like, let's put a bookmark in that.
Chandelure.
It was Chandelure, that's right. And so what were we looking up about that? Just its stat product or just its matchups?
Just a ranking. I wanted to see where it was.
Yeah, so 54 with a overall score of 75.
Yeah, you beat the Steels mostly. You beat the
fairies and ices. I mean,
fairies.
That's a good list.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not. Again, it's very, very glassy.
When's Community Day? Like that'll be long past this, isn't it? Because
Plus, I don't even know if you want to use. What is it? Poltergeist.
Oh yeah. I'm just thinking like
just like
better chance of having a hundo.
Yeah, that's true. for like trades and stuff.
Yeah.
He has a lucky 15, 14, 15 Como. Yeah, I used Como actually last time it was around, and it was I thought it was pretty good.
Rank 11, Dragon Tail, Close Combat, Dragon Claw.
You get absolutely destroyed by Togekiss, but it puts in a good fight against like a lot of things, like especially like Metagross, things that you like. Do you expect that like this? It was kind of like the new Dragonite before Dragonite got superpower, right?
Right.
Because it had close combat, which is actually a little worse because it's higher energy.
So it's the old Dragonite.
Yeah. But if you go up against a Waterfall Gyarados, it's amazing. Unless they're running Outrage. Shield the Outrage.
Shield the Outrage.
I think it's like, so wait, what did we say? Outrage is
60.
Outrage is 60. I think it's like, how many waterfalls is that? Waterfall generates how much energy? 8?
Yeah.
So it's like eight waterfalls?
8 waterfalls.
Yeah, shield if they go to 8.
Next up, I don't think we've covered Togekiss yet. We've kind of covered it with a lot of other things. Like that seems to be our go-to fairy type. Like, would you run Togekiss over... Yes, the OG, yeah. Fairy. Would you run this over Florges?
That's a good question, because Florges before had Vine Whip. Now that it has the, like, basically Mud Shot, it can get to those moves so fast.
Mud Shot.
Well, Fairy Wind. It's tough to say because this does give you the charm damage, as well as they did buff Ancient Power, which is really nice for Togekiss, because that damage actually helps in certain matchups. I would say like the flying typing definitely helps in some matchups, right?
Yeah.
Like let's say versus Garchomp, like potentially Garchomp could Earth Power the Florges to like end the game, right?
Yeah, you're right.
But like whereas Togekiss, like it can't do anything. So there's definitely like the flying type adds some extra weaknesses, such as like ice and rock and electric, but you also like add some extra resistances. Like when I was playing Como, like a close combat does quite a bit of damage to a Florges.
Okay. Right, because what was Florges' stat product again? It was like 50. It was 58.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so it's not bad.
It's got pretty good stats.
I'm seeing a lot of potential here for ABB Fairy. Like, looking through this list so far, Metagross is the only thing.
Double Steel is like super common though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because like, how many steals are there?
Excadrill, Metagross, that's all you need, dude.
And Magnazone is the other one.
Magnazone, sure. And like Haxorus double steel, Machamp double steel, Como-O double steel.
Yeah, okay.
Like, cool. That's like the OG lines, right? And like there is double, I think one guy, Miami Doc was running like ABA double charm last time this was around.
Oh, interesting.
Like if you're running double charm or double fairy, usually you would run like a waterfall Gyarados lead or something like that.
Sure.
To handle like Excadrill and Metagross and stuff like that.
So speaking of, is Metagross still as good as what it was?
I think so.
Yeah. Obviously it has to watch out for that superpower, but we established that the Dragonite
it's only neutral
has
though,
to bait.
Right?
Yeah.
And superpower is only neutral against Metagross, so and it's bulky as crap, so quick attack Sylveon, interesting. I don't know. We'll have to take a look at it.
Hey, well, apparently it's been working in your PC.
I've seen a lot of people running Sylveon.
It's recommending quick attack. That's
very interesting. I do have a Sylveon built for Ultra or Master League for Premier Classic, so
you're losing to Togekiss, Swampert, Rhyperior, Magnazone, Metagross, so you would expect to lose against those steals. You're beating... I mean, there's nothing surprising out of this, is what I'm seeing.
Can we just do a quick check if you go to the, like, Verse Premier Classic Can we do a matrix? I just want to see the difference between Charm and Quick Attack.
Sylveon with Quick Attack.
Like obviously you still get walled by the steel types,
Yeah.
such as like Metagross and stuff. But I will say like Moonblast hits Excadrill pretty hard. Looks pretty similar.
Very similar.
Charm is slightly better against Gengar, makes sense because Quick Attack's double resisted.
Yeah. But even that's like not that much.
Apparently you beat Mamaclimbs with Charm. Interesting.
That's Quick Attack. Top one's Quick Attack.
Oh, top one is Quick Attack? Okay, you beat Mamaclimbs
Oh
with
wait,
Quick Attack?
so yeah, you're doing better with Quick Attack against Gengar.
Is that Quick Attack?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess because of the Side Shock. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Super effective Side Shock. It's a little blurry, so I couldn't tell if it was.
Yeah. We lost a level of boost on the Discord server, so we're not able to stream in as high quality.
Did we?
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, just people's boosts ran out.
Friggin' Discord. Man.
I know.
Scammers.
What else? We do better against Primarina with Quick Attack. So I'm not
We
really
do better
seeing
against
many
Metagross with
losses.
Charm, apparently. Slightly.
Ever so slightly.
Not much, but
Yeah, the Quick Attack is looking better. It beats Charm Sylveon.
Walrein. Interesting. You beat Walrein too.
You beat Walrein as well, jeez. But then, hang on, look at this. The average with Quick Attack is 549, and the average with Charm is 569.
Yeah, it's more like balanced matchups, but Quick Attack picks you up some matchups.
That's really interesting.
Probably run Quick Attack then, because it seems more flexible, right? I'm gonna go TM my Sylveon right now, just in case I accidentally put that in there. Interesting.
So,
I still think Metagross is like a monster in this league. Like, even like Garchomp, things like that. Like, Meter Mash slaps. Like, it does a crap ton of damage.
Shadow Walrein.
I think the regular one is probably better because it's not very bulky.
Oh, that's a big gap between the two.
It doesn't hit very hard. Oh, Smiley's listening. He doesn't like Charm, but he likes fairies.
A lot of people don't like Charm if they're facing Charm. They love it when they're running Charm.
No, he doesn't like using Charm.
He doesn't like using Charm? There you go.
He refuses to use Charm. Let me... Excadrill, Como, Flurgus. Yeah.
Yeah,
that could work.
Yeah. Excadrill,
only
I think,
problem with
works pretty
Excadrill
well in the
is
league.
like it like doesn't quite beat some of the flying types. Just because they can survive a rock slide and like it's pretty glassy, but it definitely is very good.
How about Metagross, Como, Florges?
I think you'd be too weak to other Excadrills.
I was gonna say that, yeah. Shadow Zone or Shiny Gross.
Yeah, I think Excadrill would be better if you wanted to try that line.
Yeah.
You could give it a shot. It seems decent.
Yeah.
It definitely like nothing is perfect, but definitely seems like it could work. I have used Walrein in this league before, and I will say that its moves are a little underwhelming. So maybe the Shadow will help, but it is a little bulky. But I don't know. It's tricky to say. I do have a pretty good Shadow as well.
That's a very low stat product.
Yeah, its CP is not very good either.
Yeah.
But it's got good typing. Yeah, so my hundo is 2726. And I do have a 98% Shadow. It's a 14, 15, 15.
Wow, that's awesome.
Unfortunately. Well, it's not a hundo.
I think it already, like, I have been using Walrein in ULPC, And even there, like, there's a lot of Pokemon that you throw an Icicle Spear at it, and it's just like, yep, what else you got? Like, it takes...
Right.
How many... It would take 3 Icicle Spears to take out a Swampert? At least? Plus a bunch of
Yeah.
Powder
So
Snows.
yeah, the shadow could be interesting. For sure. I'm not sure I would invest in one because there might be like other better picks. Like Mamoswine does similar things. It's a little clunkier because you do have Avalanche, but it definitely hits a lot harder.
I mean, regular Mamoswine is ranked pretty similarly to Shadow Walrein. Much better stat product.
It's pretty glassy.
It is,
but like
glassy,
Avalanche does hit like super hard, right? But
yeah,
like the spamminess of Walrein is nice against like a Togekiss or something, because like with Mamoswine you can get like 2 shielded through by Togekiss, because you're glassy, right? As well. Like Walrein doesn't have a very high stat product, but it's mainly because its attack stat is so low. It's got a decent like defensive
Sure.
weighting. Mamoswine is like pretty attack weighted, so
I imagine the Togekiss couldn't 2-shield its way through a Walrein like it could with a Mamo. Yeah.
No, but it can through a Mamoswine, yeah.
Yeah, what about the Dragonite matchup? How does that compare?
Well, you pace at the same time with Mamoswine, right?
You pace it?
It's 6/5 to Avalanches.
Yeah, it's only 5 every time for Icicle Spear.
Right, but I'm saying like I think Mamoswine would still beat Dragonite fine.
Walrein.
We can. You want to put Shadow Walrein, or you want to put both? Let's put both Walreins, just to see where they lose. Because I do have another Celio that's like 15, 14, 13. I could possibly try that one too. If I built one though, I'd probably just build the 98 with 14 attack. Probably good enough, right?
Yeah. I mean, we can check that up. If
It's
you want.
fine. I'll check that later. Yeah, sometimes like my Shadow Machamp I have built for Master League is a 14, 15, 14. So sometimes you don't have ideal stats for the shadows because you can't control what you're getting, right?
Okay.
Oh wait, we're only looking for his Dragonite? Okay.
Yeah, isn't that what we were...
Oh sure, I thought we were looking through the rest of the meta too, but that's fine.
I was thinking, could the Dragonite 2-shield its way through either of these Pokemon? And it looks
is this
like
the 2
answer
shields?
is no. Yeah.
It gets the closest on Walrein. Shadow Walrein.
It does. Yeah, so Mamoswine's looking... Well, so Walrein is better against the Togekiss, where Mamoswine is better against the Dragonite. Is what I'm getting
Depends
at
if shields are up though too, because like if shields are down, like a Avalanche is like really nice to have. Like I've played Mamoswine in Open Master League, and like I had one game where they were like triple weak to Mamoswine, and I got shields down and I farmed down their like Giratina, and then I just like started one. They brought in like a Landorus, and it was like gone. And then like they brought, like something like that. So there is definitely pros and cons to each move, because like Avalanche does hit so hard, but also Earthquake is like way better than Bulldoze too.
It is, but then coming from a much less attack weighted Pokemon, like maybe it balances out when you consider the Pokemon stats.
Walrein also has slightly more play against Metagross because you're only taking neutral from the bullet punches.
Yeah, true.
Whereas Mamoswine's taking super effective, so there is that.
Alright, so next up we have Shadow Snorlax, the ultimate safe switch.
Yeah, I wish I had a good Shadow, but I don't. I don't have a good Shadow.
Where does the regular one rank?
It's tough to get some of these Shadows, right? Especially they're rarer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, regular Snorlax is still pretty well up there, but
Yeah.
that is a pretty big score difference, though. Waterfall Gyarados hurt Manu, but Rain don't care. Yeah,
yeah, that's another good thing. Yeah, like the team I was running with Como and Walrein, like it was a little weak to Metagross, but like Waterfall Gyarados, like we love that thing. So yeah, Snorlax is sort of has a similar issue to Walrein, where it's like it's so bulky that its moves don't do much damage. So that's sort of why the Shadow helps it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like be able to like KO something with like a body slam. Whereas the non-Shadow is just a little lackluster.
But it's also like with Lick, it's just consistent. Like you can see just the slow, consistent grinding down of their HP bar. Whereas with some of those other picks, like where you're more charge move dependent, it's like you build up to the charge move, you throw, and it's like, oh, is that all?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, Powder Snow like does decent bit of damage,
yeah.
but.
So okay, beating Metagross, beating Magnazone, that would be superpower dependent. Is Metagross dependent on landing the superpower, or does Lick do enough? Lick with like Body Slam do enough?
It's a good question. You probably could Body Slam it a couple times, like just so that you don't want to debuff your Lick damage. It is landing a superpower at the end, but like you probably can get away with you could probably still win that. Oh no, I can't. Okay.
So I mean, it's close in the ones. Like Metagross only gets down to 11 HP. So if you chip it a little bit, then you probably.
What about regular Snorlax? Do you need to land a superpower to win it with a regular?
Because that is Shadow option.
It's at the top.
It is at the top. There should be a Shadow
You
button.
just have to change the. It's only when you're on the regular. Can you transition to Shadow? If you're on the Shadow, you can't, which is kind of strange. Okay. Well, that's with the superpower. Looks like you need to land a superpower.
Yeah.
Which sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
No. Oh, okay. Regular Snorlax busted. There you go. Confirmed.
That is with them shielding the first Body Slam, which they probably wouldn't do. But then, like, they'd get to a point where they're shielding.
They could shield the last one, and you would still, it would still KO, right?
Yeah.
They would just, it's kind of a niche win, but still, the 2 shield is still kind of close. Straight Body Slam. So if you chip it a little bit, you should be fine there.
Beats Togekiss, loses to Florges in the ones. That is in the ones, right? The all these key wins and losses, all the ones here.
I think so. Yeah. Well, the thing would be with Togekiss, because you like outpace it and the Body Slams, whereas with Florges, they would outpace you probably with the Mud Shot, as I call it. Fairy Shot, we can call it.
Yeah, are you always using Snorlax as a safe switch, or do you lead with it?
You could lead it, because then we can superpower, dip out. I think a good safe swap also can make a good safe lead, because it just means that you have less things that you're worried about switching out of. If you want to play like a super balanced team, you can win switch a lot of times, which might help you, right? Get alignment in the back.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna quickly switch to the switches.
Let's see.
And we've got Gyarados and Mamaclimbs are the top 2.
There you go, Mamo. Oh, Snorlax. Dom would be happy. Electrifier. Let's see.
Yes. But I mean that is for me giving a very good case for Mamaclimbs. And probably Mamaclimbs Gyarados could make a pretty nice core, to be honest. I mean,
ground flying. Yeah, you'd be a bit weak to Fairy, but Mamaclimb's not necessarily weak to Fairy.
Especially the Togekiss.
Yep.
I would probably still want...
it was still put in work against like a Florges or something.
Yeah, yeah. I'd probably still want something that handles fairies decently enough as the third, just to make that a little more comfortable. So,
Yeah, you can run Metagross
yeah,
there. This
Metagross
probably
or
is a third.
Excadrill.
Gyarados, Mamoswine, Metagross, Gyarados, Mamoswine, um,
Probably Metagross
Garchomp.
to give it a little more bulk,
Yeah,
because
Metagross is super bulky, and
yeah,
like I said, it's very flexible with the Earthquake Meteor Mash.
mm,
Only thing it really gets walled by is Gyarados.
hmm
Other than that, like even Excadrill, like gets one shot by a Earthquake, right? So,
so a team of Gyarados, Mamoswine, and Metagross is going to be pretty weak to Waterfall Gyarados.
um, well, if you have Dragon Breath, would also Magnazone would also be a little bit tricky.
Ah, yep.
Um, for because like it would do well against the Metagross as well. But you
Mamoswine
have
would
to
handle
see
it
how
pretty well,
popular.
unless it's
Yeah,
running
you have
Flash
to
Cannon.
see how popular it is.
Yeah.
I know the like Waterfall Gyarados is actually does surprisingly well against Metagross or sorry Magnezone.
Magnazone? Okay. How many shields do you need for that, though? Surely they get to, like, 2 wild charges before you can...
They never wild charge.
They
They
always wait?
always like mirror shot, try to like farm you down
Yeah, okay.
because the sparks are doing so much damage, and they don't want to debuff themselves because if you shield a wild charge, then the waterfalls are just gonna be like destroying them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a very awkward matchup for both Pokemon actually.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so Primarina. If you're
That's the
gonna use a
new
fairy...
That's a new one on the block. It looks
Yeah.
really good.
It
It's
does?
really annoying. It's super annoying. It's the water
Oh.
typing like really adds an extra depth to it. Like you're only like you're resisting like everything from Gyarados,
Mhm.
right? Mamoswine, you resist the ice moves.
Metagross.
Metagross,
You're
you're
not super
taking
effective
neutral.
against steel, yeah.
You're taking neutral from bullet punches
Mm.
and stuff. So like if you can farm something down and you come out with like a hydro pump or something, like just wait till this thing gets hydro cannon.
I
That's all
know,
I gotta
that'll be
say.
so busted. Um,
Because it can learn waterfall too. So some people run it with waterfall like as like a safe swap to like people think, oh, there's a fairy type. I'm gonna go in with like this, you
mm.
know? I'm gonna go in with this, and then next thing you know, they have waterfall and you're getting wrecked. So
I
or Excadrill, let's
actually...
say, you know? Oh, fairy type, I'm gonna go in insta swap Excadrill, it's got waterfall. You're in trouble.
I'm kind of leaning towards Waterfall, to be honest.
It
I
definitely gives it a
imagine...
different play.
Yeah,
It gives it a different play.
so I
Mhm.
imagine you would still beat your dragons with Waterfall,
Oh
especially the
yeah, for
Garchomp.
sure. Especially Garchomp, for sure.
And at the moment with Charm, you're still losing pretty badly to Metagross, even though the...
I'm gonna assume you still lose with Waterfall, but it's probably much
much
closer.
closer.
Just because if it had Hydro, like we can also sim it with Hydro Cannon if you want.
Actually, that wasn't that much closer. So instead of Hydro Pump... Or do you want to, sim it against the League?
Oh, you can just check this one matchup.
Charm or Waterfall?
Waterfall. Just to see, because it will get a community day eventually. Okay. Still gets outpaced.
That's probably that stat product, 52-48.
It is. Yeah, it's a little glassy, but I do have one built from. This is one of my Master League Pokemon that I have built. It's
I am
not
interested. I want to see it
amazing.
against the MLPC
It's
meta.
It's
with
a
Hydra.
Lundo, the one that I powered up. So, oh, this is
Oh,
looks like it's Master League because
yes,
there's
it
Ho-Oh there.
is. Premier Classic.
Man, I miss Master League Classic.
Okay, decent. Not game breaking. But that's because of its stat
No.
product. I think Ultra League will be its playground once it gets Hydra.
I think it does have more play in Master League than you think, and it's
Okay.
mainly because of the typing.
Okay.
The stat product, not amazing, but the typing and the potential moves look pretty decent. And the question of does it have look, it's ranked 10 for a reason, right?
I don't know. I'm still feeling like a no.
Okay, I guess we'll have to see.
Just
Like
because
my Como Walrein team, this thing was a nightmare because of the water typing, right?
Sure. So definitely an option. I think if you're gonna run one fairy in your team, Florges or Togekiss probably doing better for it. But then, yeah, I mean, there is something to be said for the familiarity factor. Like, people will be familiar with Florges and Togekiss. Maybe they won't be as familiar with Primarina. So yeah, you might be right in that regard. We got two fighters, Como-O and Sneasler. What does Sneasler get up to?
I think it's pretty good. It gets up pretty good there.
47.96. That is so low.
Still not sure on. Yeah, it's because it's just a super high attack, right?
Yeah.
But the the CP is like 3,200. Not horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like this Pokemon very much. I think it's just kind of strange. Like, it's super bait dependent with the X's or close combat. Like, it's sort of like a worse Como-O. I think Dragon typing is better than poison subtyping.
And it's still losing hard to the fairies as well, even as a poison type.
So,
I mean, it does have poison jab.
You could use poison jab, but like, what is its traits? It's glass cannon, volatile, technical, inconsistent. I think this one just performs kind of well in some of the sims just because of the baiting potential, but I'm not sure it's going to be as good as the sims say. But I guess we'll have to see. This wasn't available last time Master League Premier Classic was around.
Yeah.
So we don't quite know how it's all going to shake out.
And listening to Kakuna Matata's interview on the BTW podcast, he talked about how usage comes into play with the rankings once the league starts. So I actually expect Sneasler to get a bit of a drop.
When was this interview?
You don't remember? I don't remember when it was, but
was it a long time ago?
It was a while. There was a time where they were getting like a whole bunch of people on at once. There was like Kakuna Matata and Caleb Peng and Instinct Leader Spark, another huge name.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was recent. That's what I was confused.
No, this was before. Hang on, I'm getting confused because Spark was once they started doing the executive editions.
Yeah, that's right. Executive edition.
Yeah,
I got on there twice. Let's go.
Twice as important as everyone
and
else.
I was on a podcast once, so that's awesome.
As in on the regular episode? Yeah.
I hosted it once with Seagull and Matthew.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was it was not a very well liked episode.
What, were people actually giving them feedback that like, who are these clowns?
Yeah, a little bit.
You sure
That's
it
okay.
Was it genuine feedback or was it just like?
Oh yeah, people were pissed. They were because like we were like, we're taking over the show. We were like joking, but we're taking over the show. They're never coming back.
Right.
And like people were like, what the fuck is going on? This is bullshit. Like, where's Astro? I hate Seagull. Like, and it was like he got like a bunch of like angry emails and stuff.
Really?
Like, well, that's your fault for not telling them that you're going to be away for 1 week and someone's going to be taking over the show for only 1 week. Like, maybe if you guys had communicated that, then it wouldn't have been as controversial. So
I mean, very impressive that the podcast is popular enough that Seagull's getting hate mail.
People love Wildcat and Dino. What can I say?
I mean, they are delightful people. I wonder what would happen if like I did the same thing on GoCast with like just Tribird takes over. I mean, Tribird's a bad example because he's just so delightful that no one could be angry at him taking over.
Yeah, if Doombug took over.
If Doombug took over, everyone's like, "Oh, where's Fish?"
Yeah, I murdered Fish, and I am now taking over his place. And was like, Doombug is at it again. What the fuck? Like, come on, man. First disputes, now he murdered Fish on a eater. Are you kidding me?
Where will this guy stop?
Yeah.
When will it end?
He must be stopped. Yeah. No. We like Doombug. He's definitely turning it around. He's doing really well. Already hit legend, so congrats to him as well.
Nice. Well done. All right, so we established Sneasler, no good. It's the seagull of
I don't know. We don't know yet, and we'll have to see. I don't like it personally, but I know some people have built Hundos, so maybe
look at
it's
that
good for
rating
them.
against Togekiss.
Well, like, what are you gonna hit it with?
I know.
Also, it's also a fairy. It's also a fighting dragon type, right? So you die in a couple charms.
Metagross, you'd want that to be more comfortable, like Mamaclimbs. So that's kind of the problem with Como, I guess. Well, okay, no, let me backtrack then, because like, I was originally thinking like, as a fighter, you would want your fighter to beat Mamaclimbs, to beat Metagross, but it's a dragon that has played against the ice types.
It's a dragon that can beat them in the right situation.
So if you think about it that way, that's a lot more appealing.
It doesn't have counter. Like Haxorus beats Metagross and beats Mamaclimbs probably. I'm not sure.
3 charms,
6 charms. 3 charms? Yeah, probably. I don't know if Shadow Metagross is better. Like, I'd say most people don't have a Shadow, but you can try it if you want. The next one is a new one, right? Hydreigon.
Brutal Swing and Flash Cannon. I did not know it knows Flash Cannon.
It knows there's a bunch of high energy moves like Dragon Pulse, Dark. You want to run Dark Pulse because you already have Brutal Swing. I've seen some people run this thing in Open Master League in factions and stuff, and like it looked pretty shitty. It looked pretty bad.
It's very high ranked with like an energy lead.
Also, consistency 97.2, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, so basically, you can just Brutal Swing a whole bunch of stuff. Flash Cannon's just like, I mean, having that play against. So if you get into a situation where your opponent is out of shields and you've got a bunch of energy on Hydreigon, then it can close out the match against a fairy.
Yeah, you can flash. It does have a potential, unlike Como O, where you can't hit a Togekiss. Like, I don't think a Flash Cannon would one-shot a Togekiss, but it would probably do quite a bit.
So if you've done enough chip against an opponent. But then, like, how...
I'm going to guess it would do, like, something like 70% or something.
70%. Let's see. We'll go... Single battle. Hydreigon versus Togekiss. Flash Cannon is doing 80%.
80%, okay.
And
so again, won't one shot from full health, but
76% against a Flortus.
Not bad really.
Yeah.
Definitely if you farm something down, let's say it's your lead and you farm something down and then you come back into the fairy and you throw a move, they would definitely want to respect that probably.
But then how much is a Togekiss charm doing back?
It's the same as
Como,
right?
But then I think Hydreigon's a lot bulkier, so maybe you might survive an extra charm there.
I don't think it is. I'm gonna guess Como is probably bulkier than Hydreigon.
Oh yeah, loses with a battle rating of 83. So what? Hydreigon is 61-16, and no, Hydreigon's bulkier.
I think like the stat product is a little misleading in Master League though.
Oh yeah,
because of the attack stat. So if you look, like Como O has like a 201 defense and 154 stamina, whereas Hydreigon is what?
160 or
160,
178. Yeah, stat attack
178
stat is what's
is
yeah.
kind of adding to the stat product there, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little, the stat products like are a little different than Great League because of that, but yeah, could have play. I don't know. Someone's gonna try to make it work. I do have 2 hundos, but the lucky one isn't evolved yet because I got it after the calm day, so
Ah, right.
I was doing trades.
So then Swampert is like an old faithful.
Yeah, Old Faithful, always pretty decent. I would argue it's again, it doesn't quite have the stats to keep up with some of the top things, but especially with Gyarados running so rampant, it can be difficult to use. But it's always good because of the Hydro Cannon and the Mud Shot. So,
how much does a Sludge Wave do to a Florges and a Togekiss?
I'm gonna guess like probably not as. It's probably gonna be an underwhelming amount.
Okay.
I will guess like 60%.
That seems like a good guess to me. 65.
So if you look at its stats, it doesn't even have like necessarily. Okay, so you land a Sludge Wave and a Hydro, and you win. But like, I don't know, it's kind of weird because like most times you would want Earthquake, I think, because you would definitely. I don't know if you'd be able to beat Metagross like very well without Earthquake. You would still be fine against like Excadrill. But
you're still okay against Metagross, just running Mudshot Hydro.
You get pretty low though.
You do. I mean,
you're into the red. And that's just going straight Meteor Mash.
Yeah.
They don't even land an Earthquake.
That looks like it's like not definitively, but like it could be a decent trade-off. Like still being able to beat Metagross and having the ability to smack those fairies.
For sure. I could see that. And then you have some coverage against the Dragonite and Gyarados, which is they pretty much dominate the meta. So
how much does Sludge Wave do to Gyarados?
I don't know. 43. Okay.
So you've got to get 2 and a bit.
2 and
and a
got a ton of Mud Shots.
Yeah. 90.
It's not great.
Shots. Yeah.
It's not great. Let's just put it that way.
What about Dragonite?
Yeah. Dragonite it could be just about 50% because it's a little glassier.
It's
even
pretty
less
much the same as Gyarados.
Yeah, you're not winning those matchups anyways, but you can maybe like chip it and do something to it. But I think Excadrill is probably a more preferable ground type if you're looking for a ground type.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a water type, you probably just want to go with Gyarados, but Swampert does have the added benefit of being able to beat like Magnazone, where Gyarados can't, right? So there is pros and cons.
What's that?
And it does beat Excadrill.
Are you flatlining?
Oh, that's the oven.
Yeah.
No, my girlfriend's baking a cheesecake, I think.
Oh, nice. I heard clattering cutlery before.
Yeah, she was banging stuff around in the kitchen. The kitchen's just right beside me here, so we're going to a dinner at her cousin's house on Thursday.
Cool. And the cakes for that.
Yeah, she's making it tonight so that it can set, I guess. I don't know.
Has to set.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not the one making it.
Yeah, I'm not much of a cook, so I don't know. I didn't know things have to set. I know jelly has to set. I didn't know a cake has to set.
It's a cheesecake, so maybe it's special.
Yeah, cheese has to set. All right, so Magnazone.
It's pretty good. It's just kind of has some. It's a little bit of a RPS Pokemon where you can
Yeah,
get
good
kind of
call.
walled. It's sort of like it has similar issues to like Hydreigon, Como-O, Bastiodon, and Great League, like those
Mm.
type things where it's good in a lot of places, but if you get it into a certain matchups, you just can't do anything. Where like we saw at least with Swampert, you can do something even in bad matchups for it. But Magnazone. That's the good thing about Swampert is there's not really any grass types, and now that Florges is not running Vine Whip, that'll help Swampert a bit too, probably.
I mean, when she's saying it might still run Vine Whip?
I think it depends what you want to use it for. If you're a little weak to some of the like to Excadrill or something, you could still run it with Vine Whip just to help you in those matchups.
Okay, cool. We're getting into Gardevoir, the Mamaclimbs we've talked about.
Yeah, we're starting to get down into the pits, as I call them.
Yeah.
This is the pits of the rankings. Gardevoir, I don't think like it's worth it. I just think like the other Charmers are just better.
Oh, hang on. If this is the pits, then what's Dragonite?
Oh, that's the trenches.
The trenches? Okay, so
this is the Mariana's Trench.
The Mariana.
Of the...
We're getting into Mariana Zone.
Yeah, like what do we got down here? Seismitoad?
Sigilif?
Sigilif? No, sir. Come on.
Well, it's got a decent rating, 38.8.
Solrock needs XLs for Ultra League, so...
So what does it get up to?
I feel like Noivern, like, I don't know, like, 20. They did Noivern dirty. I think Noivern could...
Look, it's super consistent.
At what? At beating what?
At, beating... Arcanine. It beats Sneasler.
It barely beats Charizard. It literally barely beats Charizard with oh, it's got Confusion. Okay, I was gonna say with Rock Throw, it should be Charizard better than that. But then who the hell runs Charizard in Master League?
Yeah.
Like, please. No, even though, like, I want to see. Can you just check the CP and stats on that? I'm curious.
4386.
Oh, it only gets to 26,764, eh? Okay. I thought it was, I guess it is glassy. It's glassy and it has bad moves, so.
But consistent.
Yeah, it beats Chestnut, which actually, Chestnut is kind of a spice pick, I think. And when it gets Frenzy Plant, I think it'll be even better. Yeah, because you have play against Metagross, you have play against the dark types, Gyarados, you have Vine Whip, or Frenzy. You'll have Frenzy Plant in the future. Yes, I think Avalugg is the pits. I don't like Ice Fang. I think it's trash. It's only good for dealing damage.
It's pretty bulky, isn't it?
201
defense. Sure do, Ash. Here you go. Come on in, join us, talk about PvP things. Tell us what you're running in MLPC, whether it's doing well or not so well.
Sure. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Hey, dude, I just got Discord. Do you have a Discord? Yes, we do have a Discord. Pallet PvP is the best place in the world.
Better than Disneyland.
Yeah, I think Avalugg
sucks, place in the world. Final boss AJ, I know, has gotten good results with Avalugg.
I just hate Ice Fang. I think it's
sure. It's got a lot of bulk.
Body Slam is not bad. Oh yeah, it's super bulky. And Body Slam is nice. Avalanche, like you could also run it with like Earthquake if you wanted to, or Crunch. I believe it has. Does it have Crunch?
Yeah. You know what?
So
this is looking to me like Ice type Snorlax.
Ice Fang is way worse than Lick though.
But Stab. So it's
if it had like Lick or something like that, I think it could actually be decent. Like if it had any other fast move, other than Ice Fang, I think it could be pretty good with the moves, charge moves.
Alright, let me put that to the test. So
But I just think Ice Fang is like pretty bad. I apologize to all the Avalug supporters out there. And I did grind Avalug, but then Walrun I think is just better than Avalug.
You know what I would love to be able to do is like punch in a custom move. So I'd give it like I'd say I'd like to give Avalug a ghost type move with which takes 3 turns and generates 6 energy and 12 damage or something like that. See how that affects it. Alright, so let's see. Ice Fang versus Lick. I mean, Ice Fang is crushing Lick. Again, I mean, except
Ice Fang
with
is
Gengar.
Okay, maybe we need to give it something other than Lick then. Maybe we should give it Fairy Wind.
Well, I mean, we wanna find things that are like a reasonable comparison.
Okay, let me pull up the Smogon for Avalug. Let's see what it can learn.
So Lick is better than Ice Fang on anything that either resists Ice Fang or is weak to Lick.
Let's see. Oh, it can learn Powder Snow. Give it Powder Snow.
Oh, shit.
What else can it learn? That looks like it for in move. It can also learn Surf, Superpower, Stone Edge, Skull Bash, Rock Tomb, Rock Slide, and this thing has some good moves. Water Pulse.
Now,
Tackle. It could learn Tackle, too. Yo, let's
Ooh,
go.
Interesting. But surely Lick would be better because like Lick and Tackle are the same stats, right? So Lick's probably better on this thing.
They're the exact same.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't get stab on anything, right?
Yeah, but Lick is like hits more for super effective, I think. So now, disclaimer: like, of course, Powder Snow is going to make this mon better, but the point I was making before is like, you're doing the same thing with Ice Fang on Avalug as you are with Snorlax, where it's just that consistent fast move damage that's just slowly grinding things down as you outbulk them.
It just says like it looks like. Like, have you ever seen it moving? It's like it's just like
very
moving
metal.
side to side. Yeah, it's a metal Pokemon.
But yeah, Powder Snow is what's the win rate? So Powder Snow's 21-8 record.
Niantic, why did you ruin this Pokemon?
Yeah, why did you do Avalug dirty, huh?
I don't know why they did that. That is just horrible.
It'd be like there'd be no reason to run Metagross, right? Mamoswine. I guess Mamoswine's still like resisting your Magnazones.
Yeah, resist Magnazone. What does ground help with? Rock helps with rock. It's a little better matchup.
Like Raptorial.
Is probably better because of the neutral. They go Drill Run there against Magnazone as opposed to Rock Slide. Super effective.
Yeah,
so
sure.
There's that, but it's kind of like niche things for sure.
Electivire, you're running that over Magnazone at all?
You do have Ice Punch, but I think it's even glassier, and I probably think the Steel typing helps more than Ice Punch helps. Just in general, right?
You think? Because
not only are you losing now to Exegil, but you're also losing to the fairies probably. Because you just
you
get
do
charmed
lose to
down.
Garchomp here. The Ice Punch is
And
a
Togekiss.
5-4,
It loses to
5-4.
Togekiss, okay? Or it beats Togekiss, but it's 522.
Yeah. I mean, so that's looking to me like it's a much narrower.
382 against Garchomp is like not bad considering it is electric type.
Yeah,
So you do have some better coverage against some of those other ground types, but that's about it, I'd say.
it feels less RPS to me than Magnazone does.
Sure.
So it's got play
But
against
GBL
a lot
is an
more.
RPS league, so just RPS your way to legend. That's what all the good battlers do, right?
We got Mamaclimbs, Avalog, Warrain. I think we're done. There's Conkeldurr.
Well,
Conkeldurr.
take a seat here. You just passed one of my faves,
Oh,
Shadow
sorry.
Machamp.
I did too.
Shadow Machamp
Yes.
is good. Let's go.
So
I think it's
give me
not
the case
bad.
for it. Give me the case.
It can beat Metagross if
Yep.
you best buddy it.
If you've got to best buddy it, really?
Yep, you get like you get a couple extra damage. Look at how close the loss is. 496. If you have a best buddy Shadow Machamp, you at level 41 you beat Metagross.
I see.
And it has a lot of close losses, right? Like Garchomp is close.
Yeah.
Dragonite is a little tough, but you destroy Extra Drill, you destroy
Yeah.
Mamoswine, you beat Swampert, like
That's
which
cool.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
And you also have the Rock Slide coverage, so you can hit back against some of the Fairy types, like specifically Togekiss. You can also run if you want to get crazy. You could run like Stone Edge or Close Combat or something crazy like that. People might not be expecting that.
I mean, are you really getting that much out of running a close combat here?
I think Close Combat like one shots like a Snorlax or something like that.
I feel like you'd prefer being able to farm a few counters and not debuff yourself.
Hey, I'm just trying to justify the fact that I already powered up the champ to level 40. Okay.
Rock Slide does exactly 50%. So if you
his name is Rocky, and he's a 14, 15, 14 Shadow Machamp. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, I mean you get him Machamp. You get him Rocky.
And I actually caught another one a couple months ago that's a 15, 15, 13. So if I ever need one for open, that might be the one.
Okay.
Quickly check the Metagross matchup, and you'll see.
I believe you.
I think we're basically done. We're not going to talk about open, right?
No. So
Who
we're
plays
just checking
open?
one shields. And so what are we looking for here?
Best buddy.
Best buddy.
Yep. You best buddy your Machamp, and next thing you know. Wait, what? Oh, are you running Shadow? Oh, bro, it's not Shadow. Come on, man.
I mean, no, that's PV Poke's fault. Like, that should default to the Shadow. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
And then without the best buddy... You're losing by 1 HP.
It's because they get to the last... with the best buddy, you reach a bit of a break point on how much damage the cross chops do. And they don't get to the second Meteor Mash.
Right.
Which leaves you with a lot of health. So it's actually not a bad matchup.
And I guess that would be the same, like... obviously, if it's a 1 HP win, then just doing, like, a single move of Chip with another Pokemon will fix that. But
if they have an energy lead, then they get the 2 Meteor Mashes, right?
So if they, like, switch into the Metagross and you straight away switch to Machamp, then... like, they're still getting to that move.
And they win CMP, I'm pretty sure. Metagross wins CMP over Machamp.
It does.
Not even close, yeah.
Like, that's concerning to me. Like, Machamp is... In the other two leagues, like, you are relying on Machamp to win CMP.
Yeah. Metagross is, like, has a pretty high attack stat, though. Metagross is kind of busted. Not gonna lie. Like, it's a... Not only does it have a high attack, but it has a pretty darn high defense and stamina. That's why it's so good.
Yeah. I did. So HisuianRyan recently posted in the Pallet Discord a team from Zionic, which was Conkeldurr, Swampert, and what was the third? It was maybe like Togekiss. So is there a reason to run Conkeldurr over Machamp? I mean, that stat product is a lot better,
It's a slightly bulkier.
and it's winning CMP. Like, it's got a
Yeah,
higher
it's
attack
a bit
stat.
more of a Master League Pokemon, but wait, does this one beat? But again, you have Dynamic Punch,
And
whereas
Stone Edge.
Machamp has Cross Chop and Rock Slide, so that would be the benefit, I'd say.
Cool, just the quicker moves.
Conkeldurr is a little clunkier because of the high energy moves, right?
I find Poison Jab very interesting.
Nah, you don't want Poison Jab.
You definitely
Stab
lose
counter?
to. You definitely lose to Metagross, but it looks like you're losing to Metagross anyway.
Yeah, but guess who beats Metagross when you have the best buddy boost?
Oh, but who's gonna best
Shadow
buddy their
Machamp!
Shadow? Who's gonna best buddy their Shadow Champ though?
I'm literally like racing because like I got a little complacent. I'm still like 100 hearts away.
100
from
hearts.
best budding my. Oh, bro, I gotta hurry up. Oh my god. Oh, jeez, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get that because what can you get per day? Like 10?
20.
You can get 20. Oh, with the Puffin or.
Yeah, you got to get it excited. You can get like 20. You can probably get like, if you fully max, you could probably get like 27 per day, something like that.
Okay.
I can do it. Hey, I still have tomorrow. I don't have to play Machamp on day 1, right?
No.
We have Go Battle Day on Saturday. Maybe I want to change it up midday, you know?
Okay, so let's finish it off with like some teams. We've been talking about teams here and there. Let's throw some together.
Double steal, like any like Gyarados double steal, is a good one. Like a dragon type, but specifically one that can handle extra drills. So like maybe like Como O double steal or a Hexerus double steal. Like those are like very common ones.
We had one that we were kind of liking, which was what was it? Excadrill.
Charm?
It was an Excadrill lead, and Gyarados. I mean, so I like.
Oh, Hakamo
Como
Florges.
I like Gyarados lead as well with say probably a fairy like a Florges. And then Snorlax safe.
Yeah, like I said. Well, we can also check. I don't think he has. He's been. I know he's probably been busy, but only thing that I've been a little kind of not annoyed, but disappointed with, is that he used to always put like top performers and like teams for all the custom cups, but I guess like now they're only like once. I guess now they're only once a week. So maybe that's why he's not doing it, because like it's only Open Master League is the only thing for top performers. He doesn't have one for Classic, so it's a little upsetting. But I guess that's just like the way maybe he needs to hire somebody else to help, or more people need to help volunteer possibly. I'm not sure, but. A classic, like a very classic team, like which I don't know how well it works these days, is like Togekiss, Garchomp,
Metagross.
Yeah, Metagross or something or like Togekiss, Garchomp, Excadrill, something like that. Wait, what was it? Was it Togekiss? I'm trying to think. What were because I built my first 3. Oh, I think it was Dialga. Was I using Dialga back in the day? Maybe.
Not in MLPC.
No. But in. Let me see here. I will give some advice to people. Whatever you do, don't build a Escavalier, okay?
For Master League?
Yes.
Did you do that?
Don't do it. I definitely didn't. I definitely don't have a hundo best buddied level 40 Escavalier. Definitely don't have that.
Why? Why didn't you do it?
I thought it would be good against like Excadrill and Metagross and all that stuff. And honestly, the Metagross matchup's not even that good.
Yeah, right.
Like Meteor Mash does like 60% basically to it.
Plus bullet
like
punches as well.
where's the rank? Where's the ranking on it? Let's see.
45. It's in the shallow pits.
It beats steel types. That's basically it. And maybe
And
Walrein.
not comfortably.
And maybe Avalugg. It could probably beat Avalugg.
Probably, yeah.
It's not great. I would not suggest to use it. But guess what? Now I have enough Excel, so I can power it all the way up to level 50. Maybe it's better in Open Masters.
You should best buddy it.
It's already best buddy. Are you kidding me?
Cool.
I have to walk this thing for candies to get it up to level 40. You know how hard it was to get Escavalier candies back in the day?
Yeah, I have been through that myself. There was a while where I was like, I want to build an Ultra League Escav, and I just can't. But that's been resolved.
Yeah, it's hard. It was hard to get candy, but like after Go Fest this year, now I have more than enough. So, and just quickly before we end, I can give one team recommendation that I really like for Open Master League, which is a team that I've used in Classic before, and it's Zacian, Dialga, and Yveltal.
Yeah, right.
I like that team quite a lot.
Cool. What do you like about it?
Like, so you have sort of you have like a soft counter and a hard counter to Mewtwo and Dialga and Yveltal, and you don't do very well against Mewtwo with Zacian. So I don't know.
Cool.
It's just like a solid team. I hit Legend with that team before in regular Master League and Classic, and I still think the meta hasn't changed that much. Although if you start seeing Nihiligos, then that team might not be that great, because that is a bit of a core breaker.
Yeah.
Yveltal and Zacian both lose to it, so luckily I don't think it'll be that common right now, but definitely in the future when they bring it back, it's going to be more common, because like I think King Tom got a hundo on like his second raid, so he decided that he was just going to go crazy and just get enough for level 50, and this was on the day 2 of the Go Fest. Way back, but like I know other people that have hundo Nihiligos and they have like 50 XLs because like they just thought it was useless,
lucky
right?
bastards.
I don't know why Niantic could have made so much more money if they just gave a poison jab at the start, right?
Yeah, you're right.
They wait till it like goes away from raids, and then they give a poison jab, and then they're like complaining like, oh, so we need money or something. Like, I don't know.
Are they complaining?
I don't know. I'm just guessing they're complaining.
You're imagining they're in the boardrooms going, oh,
why are the boxes? Yeah, why are the boxes
we only
so
at $1 billion?
Expensive? Like the boxes are so expensive right now for these insane boxes. I kind of enjoy hatching eggs for extra Stardust, but like I'm not about to pay like 3,300 coins.
We just raided Mamaclimbs.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. And for those of you catching the VOD, thank you for watching, and good luck in MLPC.
And good luck, and don't forget to get good.